Svitch for pushing the first reward system payout today. Phil for promoting praise to other communities and for inviting me to share about our work with reward system at the DAO Tooling Briefly sessions today. Solsista for the persistent work with Omega and the development of ethical frames for token engineering that is becoming so visible now. Zactimus for the way he shares audits and transparency related information, always with empathy and care for how others will feel with certain data exposure. Praise Maddie G for his prompt response to feedback about the praise dashboard. Tam for her active curiosity about everything happening in TC. Her questions help clarify so much, and we always find insightful things through her diggings. And I typed it all in the chat. There's more. And I'll pass to Rex.
Okay, you pass it back to me. Okay, I want to thank.
I'm sorry. That was bad.
I can praise more people, but
Do it.
Gene. Okay.
No, yeah, praise. You can praise more people. But if you don't want, I can pass it for Gene. Pass it to Gene. I think that's who you're passing it to, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see Gene.
Oh, did he go? Okay.
Yeah. How about Bear 100?
I'll praise Tam as well for introducing me to the TEC. Yes. There we go.
Thanks, Rex. Bear 100, do you want to take it? No worries. How about Acid Laser?
Thank you, Greg. So I want to praise Edu for being the orientation call master. You do amazing, bro. And I want to praise Chris, Mitch, Livia, and all the reward system working group for let us show you the advances for the upcoming video. And praise Nate for returning little by little to the community. Praise Chewy for his leading this week. It was really good, man. And praise Jason because he's very active at the community this last weekend, and that's amazing. And I'll pass it to Chewy.
Thanks, Acid Laser. I'd like to praise the reward system working group for all of their efforts for making this possible. I'd also like to praise Acid Laser, Alan TV, John Jonas, and Mario Rosso for their presentation of the quantificators tutorial. Like, it went amazing, so I'm very, very happy that the community has finally been able to get a glimpse of what this amazing team can do. Also, I'd like to praise Angela for always like questioning how can we do what we do better. And yeah, also the T Academy team, Anatech, Angie, very empathy, of course. Thanks for all of your help. And with that, I'll pass it to who hasn't gone? Mount Manu.
I'll dish the praise directly in the channel as I'm updating the slide for our presenters. So I will pass it to Tam.
Cool, thanks. I'd like to praise Juanca, Gustavo, Manu, Marco, YGG, and Jeremy, who are all members of our community who have nominations in the Commons Prize, which is very exciting. I'd like to praise Christopher and Matt, I don't know if anyone also gets GitHub notifications, but I get them all. And man, just flying through issues. It's so clear how much is going on in the reward system when I can just see very quickly what those two and everyone else is up to. But man, they really stood out for me the last few days. And I'd like to praise my daughters, Kirana and Cassia, because we're having a bit of a difficult week this week. And I'd like to praise them for being just very mature and reasonable and rational and loving and kind humans. And I'll pass back to you, Griff.
Thanks, Tam. Let's throw it to Alan TV.
Thank you, Griff. I want to praise all animation and the production team for the script and storyboard for the reward system video. Looks great, really looks great. I want to praise to all the reward system working group for feedback and corrections. We really appreciate it. So I don't know who's missing, so I pass it to you, Griff, again.
Oh man, it's a busy week for me. Let's throw it to Edu.
Sorry.
Thank you. I want to dish praise to the folks who stay here after the orientation call, meaning Laser, Mike, Nanda, Mao Manu, I think Itzel and Rex and Raluca. Thank you so much for joining the orientation call and staying and following the call to action after the orientation call. I want to dish praise to Tam for helping and always receiving my messages and answering them, even if they are random. I want to dish praise to Livy for the sync that we had this week on Monday. I want to dish praise to Mao Manu for putting up and trying to find times on how coordinate better with the Calendly and the one-on-ones that we are having. And I want to dish praise to Irene for being here. Welcome back. And back to you. And I will try. How about you, Jason?
Absolutely. First, I'd like to praise all the newcomers that showed up on the orientation call again this week. I'm thinking about the newcomer experience, writing about it, and just hearing the questions and how they introduce themselves, and just thinking what that first step must have been like for everyone, because it can be kind of nerve-wracking to understand how do I let these people know who I am and how I'm here. So coming and doing that's great. Praise for Gideon to continue to help me explore writing opportunities. So we have lots of things to talk about and do, and excitement for that. And then finally, praise to Livy for an awesome rapid fire praise example earlier on this call. Very inspiring for a new person. Thank you very much. And I will pass back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Jason. Let's throw it to Enti.
Thanks, Griff. So I would like to first of all praise everyone at the TEC. I've been feeling pretty good and excited with what's going on. Then I would like to praise Gideon for his work on Sampo and also his great feedback and companionship on everything TEC. Also Septi for all his hard work around transparency and keeping the TEC moving every day. I want to praise also Bear because he's been on pretty much every meeting I have been, providing excellent feedback and just doing a great job. Also Livy for her leadership and thoughtful comments on everything in our culture and how do we make decisions and compensation. Well, I'll write the rest on the channel. I'll pass it on to who hasn't gone yet, to Patty.
Hello. Yes, thank you. I will ditch some praises. Let me see the list. Okay, so I have first praise goes to Angela for the work in TEC Academy for sustaining and thinking strategically. I want to praise a few members of the TEC that have been that we had recent meetings with, and for their work in sustaining and supporting bridges between the TEC and TEC Academy. So for that, I have Eduardo, I have Vai V, Chui, Anna, Angie, and Efra. I want to praise Anna and Angie for the work with the teams, with the marketing and promotion of TEC Academy. I want to praise our hosts, our T360 hosts. Two names, Anderilio I have Davidi, I have Mark Date, Greedy, and Scaligro. I can have the names later. Thank you. And I haven't seen, I think, Raluca go. I don't know if you went.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I'm just joining from the onboarding call. So it's the first time I'm gonna give praise. So I'm probably gonna give praise to the onboarding people. So Mount Manu, Edu, Mike, Jason. Sorry if I'm missing people. I'm really there's a lot of new names. And then also to Griff, I think, for providing the material for the video remix on ETH Barcelona. It was a really fun thing to watch. Yeah. And I'll give it back to Griff because I lost count of who is who, and yeah.
No worries. Thanks, Raluca. Let's pass it to Gideon.
I already went, but could I'll pass to, yeah. Well, go ahead, Griff. You pass it.
Sure. I'm sorry, Gideon. I do have you on my list. Let's throw it to Ilk. Is Ilk still here? No, Ilk left. Okay, how about Itzel?
Oh. Hi, I would like to praise Acid Laser first for introducing me to the community and keep helping me in the process. And also Edu for a really warm welcome in the invitation. Well, and I pass it to Nanda.
Hi. I want to praise, I was in the orientation call, so I want to praise everyone there. Edu for presenting us, also Jason, and Mike, and I don't remember anyone that was there, but also I want to praise the new members, and I also want to praise Pat for presenting me to the TEC. I don't know, did anyone didn't? So, I want to pass to Juan.
Thank you, Nanda. Yeah, I would like to praise Sam, Lowy, Paul, and Ming for having me here in the Giveth House, and also praise Griff because I can sense your energy and your spirit in these rooms. They are Sam and Ming there. And I would also like to praise Tam for helping me to not miss this common stack price deadline. Chewy, Jean, Acid Laser, Anana, Bianca, Durgadas, and Septi for the and Bear for the constant support in Gravity, Septi especially for the support on the treasury and the payments. And I would also like to praise Livy for starting a new book club. I think this dynamic of having book clubs is great. And today we're ending the Who Do We Choose to Be? So I will join the Think Like a Commoner one. And yeah, I don't know who hasn't gone.
I'm pretty sure I don't have Livia. I don't have you on my list. Did you go though? I thought you did. Yeah. So then I think that's everyone. Somehow I had some miss up there. I want to make sure. Everyone went right? Catman, I'm going to save you the trouble, okay? And let's just get this party started. So, welcome to Community Call number 82. And let me share screen. So, thank you all for coming. We're so happy to have you today. You just got to experience praise. It's one of our favorite cultural practices. It's really a way to distribute TEC tokens while also bringing in a culture of gratitude. So you can just praise 24/7, and only praise that gets written down in our bots will actually turn into TEC tokens. So even though you said it on this call, we have been in the past it. We're stopping that. Make sure you write it. And let's take a little while I read our visual. The theme of the is the world enable the critical state resident and diverse agnostics to entities of the world. That's what we're doing. We're talking resilience. Yeah.
Dune analytics is, I think, one of the cornerstones of our own understanding of what's happening with the TEC token, and this is a really great thread about it. So retweet that. Without further ado, I will pass to Juanca in Gravity so the rest of the working groups can share their great updates.
Thank you, Tam. Well, in Gravity, we are preparing for the third Graviton training, that it's our main educational activity that we offer, where we try to give an beginner level practice and skill provision towards conflict management. So it's not something that you have to become a mediator if you take this course. It's actually something that you would be able to apply in your everyday life, so everyone is invited. We will start the 24th of May. And we also have some other calls. On Mondays, we are having a psychology and mental health research. We are also talking about applying a survey for measuring the ecosystem health. On Wednesdays, we're having our coordination calls. We will be working on our website design and organizational development. On Thursdays, today we have the last session of our book club of Who Do We Choose to Be by Margaret Whitley. Excited to join the Think Like a Commoner that Livy will be leading. And yeah, we also applied for the Commons Prize. So if you are a hatcher, you can vote because you have CSTK tokens, and you can support us or support the other projects that are there. Yeah, that's it for Gravity, and I will pass it to Softcode.
Thanks, Juan. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that actually Anne Brody is leading the book club. And for everyone to know, this is an initiative from the Commons Stack for us to expand our knowledge on the Commons topic. And this book is so essential for that. So everyone is invited to the Commons Stack server for us to discuss further next week. Next Thursday is going to be the next one. And on SoftGov, we meet every Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. Europe time. And this week, we talked about compensation in the TEC, revisiting the importance of revisiting expectations. So what is the expectation that everyone has individually for how much it would be an important number for you to feel comfortable with your participation in the TEC? And also understanding that we have a lot of work on clarifying the TEC capacity to meet or not meet those expectations. So what is our budget? What do we have available for contributors? And that clarity between the TEC as an organization and contributors individually will help us a lot to just have like better compensation ethics. And right now, everything has been a little bit overlapping. We were expecting this was going to happen because the reward system was on pause for more or less 6 months. So people weren't being compensated through that system. And then there was grants being submitted by working groups to continue rewarding contributors. And also the Commons Stack was supporting the TEC up until the hatch or a little bit after the hatch financially. So there was a few sources of compensation coming from different sides. And now with the upcoming rewards from the reward system and the different types of rewards people have receiving in different working groups have been causing a little bit of a chaos that we are on top of it and exploring ways to deal with that, especially with Sampo working group coming up now. And a lot of effort from different working groups coming together for us to create better, more clear pathways for everyone to be a contributor in the TEC. So we were also investigating different types of wealth that Gideon will explain more on Sample working group, but perhaps we have been compensated through other means that not financial. And mapping that out is also important because we're very used to think of rewards as a financial compensation, but we could have been compensated through education, through social wealth, through cultural wealth, through expertise, and many types of wealth. So we've been working on SoftGov, starting to think about that, how to provide a framework for people to understand better different types of wealth that they've been
To keep us in time, can you keep maybe wrap it up in like 30 seconds?
Yeah. I'll pass to Gideon to continue.
Thanks, Libby. Let's see. Am I next on the slides?
Oh, did you want to go to Sampo?
Yeah.
You're next now.
Okay.
Oh, I thought.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Confused. I thought you was.
No problem. Okay, so Sampo working group, just getting started right now. We've had like 2 meetings, and here's the who we are. So Sampo is the Finnish mythic horn of plenty. It symbolizes this working group's purpose, which is mission-driven, community-owned and governed capital to advance the field of token engineering. We focus on financial management, income generation, and the economic development that builds demand. Oh, I don't have it memorized. That builds demand for the TEC token. So that's kind of a placeholder. We're still working on our mission and our manifesto, but that's going to hold us for right now. And what have we been doing? So one thing that we're doing, we're kind of trying to do 2 things at the same time at a high level. One is actually get some initiatives spun up, and then the other is kind of like get a kind of big perspective on what it is that we're trying to do. So on the big perspective, we're trying to use some strategic framing that we'll probably use later also for like when we do fundraising requests and things like that. We'll rely on this to kind of explain what our pitch is. But basically, the 2 lenses right now is one is like economic development. So like this is a microeconomy. The TEC is a microeconomy. So we're going through the phases of economic development. Like the first one's like stability, and then the next one is economic momentum, and then after that we end up with economic abundance. So that's kind of the way that we're framing it right now. Also talking about capital, like this isn't just about financial capital. There's lots of other types of capital that this community has, and in particular, one of the greatest strengths we have is one of the strategies is how do we start there and use that cultural capital as a way to build demand and interest in what we're doing, that then can bring in more financial capital that we can then use to build more social capital, more relationships with people out there. And then in some ways, the most interesting thing is the expertise capital. So like token engineering professionals and their expertise, whether it's in people or in code, how do we build that over time? And so the last point here is just it's like, we use financial capital as a resource to capacity build these other types of capital. And then as far as the initiatives right now, main thing is we've spun up this work team that's Sampo. The goal there is financial clarity. And then we're starting to build some momentum around actual fundraising, like where are we going to go to actually bring in some funds. And then after that will be a focus on revenue generation and token utility, building demand for the TEC token. Okay, that's it. Going to Communitas next. Yeah, Edu?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. So on this week on Communitas Working Group, we reached 2,300 members on our Discord. So that's another milestone to celebrate. And then we did a second round of place activation outreach. So basically, there were more people who didn't sync the reach to that, and messages, apologies if anyone thought it was scam or something along those lines. It wasn't. It was us trying to let you know that for claim the TC tokens, you needed to activate your place account. And then today, I drafted the proposal for the next round of funding proposal for the Communitas Working Group. Just quickly, the document, it's open to anyone. It's the second is at the bottom because the first one, it's the first proposal that we did. Then sort of in the same document, we put the second proposal, and it has a few add-ons of things on this round, which is basically to see the things that we accomplished on the first round, and the things that needs to be improved, and the things that we are in progress. Besides that, we are still working on the TEC engagement process and our members' experience here in our community, and we are aiming to put in the next week to put a proposal on the forum seeking consensus with the community. And if anyone wants to provide feedback about what we propose to happen at the community level regarding the next item actions to take. Sorry, I'm scrambling a little bit. And then today we tried out a new orientation deck, a new slides for orientation call. Basically, it was based on this quite old idea that we have had, but we never explored. That was Tam's idea about, rather than having a hierarchical approach to things, to have a more knowledge-based. So we based the orientation deck on areas of interest and the layers of the TEC, rather than focusing on working groups. So we focus more about the knowledge and the areas of interest that exist here in our community. So we tried that today. We'll try it out a few more weeks. So if anyone has any feedback regarding this deck, is more than welcome to provide comments on it publicly or privately to me. And with that being said, I think that's pretty much all for this time, and I will pass it on to Omega.
Does anyone want to take it on for Omega? If not, I can always be the good backup. But feel free to interrupt me if anyone who went to the last call wants to take it on. In general, we have Omega Working Group is about pushing forward token engineering ethics. Ethics are important for every engineering field, and there's a lot of different work streams going on. But the biggest one is the Consilience Library, which is going to have some really big updates soon. So that's super cool, making great progress there. There is a nice agenda for a new format here if you want to check it out. We have Daniel from DSci joining the DEB, which is super cool. There's the collective curations for the library that is happening. And we also have some onboarding insights like Omega as an inner working group. So that's super cool. And hopefully you can come to the next Omega call that happens on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. CET. And I'll pass it to Labs, which might be me again, actually, because I don't see Sean here. The main thing here is that we got the Labs are happening every Friday here. I think that there is, I was noticing on the calendar that open office hours paused for a little bit and for a lot of things. So, but right now, YGG and Tonga are going to talk in the Labs tomorrow about praise transcription, whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. It'll be a great debate. And this has been something we've been grappling with as a community. Do we transcribe praise or not? So if you want to be part of that discussion, come tomorrow at 8 a.m. on West Coast time, 5 p.m. In Europe. And yeah, let's just toss it over to comms and Chewy.
Thank you, Griff. So in communications, we have a general call on Tuesdays and sync calls for the different teams on Mondays. And right now, some of our updates are that the animation proposal is up. So if you want to support that, make sure you stake your TEC tokens behind that in our garden. And among the teams, some of the updates are the T Academy team is visiting Shapeshift, Opolis, and Giveth Communities spotlights soon to promote some of the educational free opportunities around the token engineering community, like the Graviton training, the T Fundamentals course, and also the Discord bot army that the TEC Labs has. The animation and video production team just presented their last version of their script and a storyboard for the quantifiers tutorial. It looks really, really awesome. If you want to check that out, make sure you watch the recap of the last reward systems call. It's the first part of that call. So yeah, I think you'd enjoy that. And we can also use a lot of feedback on this process. The marketing team is sending out the next newsletter soon. So also you can join us, or if you need us to cover something that's going on in your working group, make sure you reach out to us as well. The translations team is putting a forum post coming soon with a soft poll to take a decision about some fund handling within the team. And the Twitter planning team is running this campaign called Tea Tuesdays. So also, if you want to check that out, these are some really, really cool threads that go over some of our community's most coolest insights. And with that, I'll pass it to Septi in transparency.
Thank you, Chuy. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every Monday, 5 p.m. CET. Yeah, basically, like this week, there was a topic around the transparency around salaries, and I just make a forum post for an advice process, like if we should have a document that shares constantly the salaries of everyone making every month, and then use this document to share this on the audit. Maybe we want to do it, maybe not, but yeah, that's something like we should discuss in advice process, and maybe even do a forum vote later on. So I would love if everyone would like to engage in this sensitive topic. And yeah, also it's not in here because I didn't add it, but we're also working on listing the circulating supply on CoinGecko to have more transparency around autoeconomics. And yeah, and that's it. I'll pass it to Liga. Griff.
Sorry, sometimes Discord is funny with that unmute button. But yeah, with legal, we are meeting tomorrow. We're going to have a fun legal discussion, as we always do. You know, legal and the bleeding edge of token engineering it creates some interesting discussions, to say the least. And we're transitioning to more of an informal discussion group. We're pretty much done with all of the actual legal work. So every 2 weeks, we're just going to have a legal discussion about what's going on. I imagine, for instance, the UST debacle will probably make it'll probably be a topic. But we'll see exactly how it goes tomorrow. That's at 10 a.m. New York time, 4 p.m. during in Europe. And if you know any legal experts, definitely recommend that they come join us for these fun discussions. And I'll just leave it at that and toss it over to, I don't know who's leading it. Is it you, Livia? Are you taking on rewards?
Yeah, Mitch couldn't be here today, so I'm taking it. And for the reward system, super exciting news that the first distribution is up in the DAO, and this burst is going to happen immediately. So we're almost there. I think it already passed. The votes were most up, but it takes 24 hours to execute. So probably tomorrow you will all have your rewards in your wallets, and Quant 10 is closed. So we finally caught up on praise. We're not quantifying old praise anymore. And now we're going to start doing quantifications every 2 weeks, and just for the period of 2 weeks of praise and not a month of praise. So that will be way later on quantifiers. Yeah, and you can check out this rules of praise post to understand how to dish great praise. It's also always great for quantifiers when praise is dished well. And become a quantifier. That's your civic duty. And it's so much fun to understand everything that's happening in the community and to give the value to the subjective praises that we've been dishing. Also, activate your praise. So there's a few steps. You just you just type /activate, and you're going to link your ETH address and have praise powers, and /praise to start praising. So if you're new in the community, please do that ASAP. And just by activating, you can start receiving praise. So it's important to do that if you want to be rewarded. And last thing is that after this call, we're having praise quant review session. where we go over the last period and understand what happened and have insights from it. Everyone is invited. And I'll pass back to you, Griff.
Sure. Oh, wow. There are so many interesting slides going on here. But I actually think, I see. Okay, so I'm going to throw it over to Patty for the Token Engineering Academy.
Thank you. Great. So today I have actually updates and a few questions. I'm not sure if this is the right channel, but I'll just drop them very quickly. First updates, we are in 1,353 people signing up for TEC Fundamentals, wanting to learn. And if you want to sign up, if you haven't yet, here's the link. We are currently building the program. It will be ready by the end of the year, Q3, so October, more or less. Let's see. We have also a new partner, Crypto Plaza. They are funding us as well. And next slide, yes. Oops. Yes, for you to get ready for TEC Fundamentals, you can find a study group that works for you. So you can find, we have several study groups ongoing at the moment. We have ones in Portuguese, in Italian, in English, in APAC time zones. We have several study groups, and if you want to get ready, if you want to study and find a community, you can just go to this link and see what happens, see what is the best time and place for you to join. And here's a list of all the, on the right, you can see a list of all the ongoing study groups. So it's a lot. Yes, and next slide, please. And here are some more updates. Praise ViViV, praise Edu for the work both in thinking on the onboarding for our Discord and applying the changes and building this bot for us. We now have an onboarding process. We have a guide. You can just see there's your guide section. We have an events tab, a channel for events, super cool, has been major difference. And if you haven't yet, or if you are in the Discord in a while already, you can just drop your introduction, say a few words about yourself in the introduction channel. That's super welcome. We are trying to engage people for that. And then we have for this month an introduction call. We are aiming for June 10th, and we want to have it in Spanish. So if you want to be a host in that session, if you think this is cool, please let me know. This is something we are trying to do to be more inclusive to Latin American and Spanish-speaking communities. Let me know, yes. And next slide, we have for the TEC Academy newsletter, we are planning to have a session for the TEC, and our topics for the moment are either praise, sample, or our bridge work with the team. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any thoughts here, just please ping me afterwards and we can talk better. But this is our current situation. And yes, this is it. Thank you. Pass it back to you, Griff.
Thanks, Patty. And it's so great. We have a project spotlight again. This is the first project spotlight that we've had in a while. Welcome, Chris Katoya, Catman. Thank you so much for jumping in. And we will probably go a little bit long, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes over, guys. So if you need to leave at the top of the hour, it's okay. But I want to make sure that, Chris, that you have the time to present cadCAD. So
thank you so much, Griff. Really happy to be here. Hello, everyone. So Chris Katoya, I'm Executive Director of the cadCAD Foundation and Product Manager at Block Science Labs. I'm really excited to be here. So we are very close to getting approval on our funding, which will help us sort of instantiate the growth of the foundation itself, sort of evolving from just kind of doing pure research and development on the cadCAD engine and framework and moving to trying to educate everyone, communicate this out, and just run our operations. So that funding is incredibly important to us. Part of that funding will actually go to be funding all of Peter's work that he's been doing with the cadCAD study group, and to continue that and keep building on those wins. We see basically we've built up a lot of knowledge capital over the past few years. I didn't do any of these slides, so I don't know what content's on them. So don't worry about it, but you can cycle through it. We've been building up a lot of knowledge capital on how to build cadCAD itself in a way that it's legible to more and more users. And so we're really excited about the upcoming reference implementation that we're doing. Shout out, we'll be having another community call on that in about a month or so. It'll be announced and organized then, but just keep your eyes peeled for that. Are there any questions from anyone about what we're trying to do with the funding? Cool. Yeah, if there's nothing else, I'm available in DM in the cadCAD Discord. I hang out a little bit here in the TEC. So I'll just review again. On the education front, we're doing more sort of outreach. We want to do more guided sessions, and those guided sessions give us a ton of incredibly valuable feedback in terms of what content do we need to create. And so we want to build out a wiki style sort of repository of all the content that people generate through those programs, and also just sort of associate and see like, hey, this link is actually really helpful in terms of learning a little bit more about modeling in this fashion or in another fashion, whether it's agent behavior modeling or systems dynamical modeling that cadCAD helps resolve. In terms of the operations, it's just helping run the infrastructure, updating the website, Discord, Telegram. We're moving away from Telegram. Mostly focusing on our Discord and website there. And we have our forum on Discourse as well. And the comms is just ensuring that, hey, we need to get all this information out there, writing articles, community highlights, spotlights of different projects, things of that nature, and then running the Twitter account as well. And so this would be funding people in those positions for managing the community for 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing proposal, Chris. Like, is there like what are the benefits? Because maybe you could explain a little bit about block science versus the cadCAD Foundation and
sure.
And like,
So block science is engineering R&D firm that does client work for some of the largest projects out there. So most notably Filecoin, they did the design and validation for the consensus protocol itself and ongoing network surveillance to ensure that the Filecoin network remains fully operational in terms of its economic structure. And cadCAD is an open source project that was built to do the work that block science does in terms of its token engineering, complex systems engineering. And now Block Science Labs is a spin out of Block Science to do it's the SaaS product on which you can collaborate on your cadCAD projects for designing and building your models and running the experiments on cloud compute and sharing these results with a presentation layer with your clients or the community in general. So it'll be what we see as important sort of part of DAO tooling for people talking about how do we want to build our DAO and how are we going to model these ideas and decision support around what the community wants to decide on.
Cool. So does anyone have any questions for the cadCAD Foundation proposal? No? Okay. Well, if you found this interesting at all, cadCAD, this proposal has actually oh, go ahead.
That's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like just an inch away.
Yeah, look at this. They need 12,000 votes. And honestly, if what's really interesting about this proposal is there's a few people, myself included, who have a lot of conviction that's already been built up. And so the conviction has already reached its max. And so if maybe 20,000 tokens or 30,000, 40,000 tokens come in, it'll pass very quickly. So very interesting conviction voting dynamic here. And if you think cadCAD is important, cadCAD is the tool that we use to design the entire system that we're actually using today. The augmented bonding curve and conviction voting, these are all modeled using the open source software of cadCAD. And if you find this interesting, then I would say definitely support this proposal. And yeah. And if BSI wants it to pass, you guys only have to buy like another. You could invest in the TEC and vote too.
We already have a number of our members have already contributed to the proposal, and we're fully booked. Whether it's building client projects or the product itself or just the tooling. It's cadCAD is underfunded at the moment, so we view this proposal as basically seed funding to grow the operations and build the commons around everything we're doing and the community.
Well, thank you so much, Catman. We really appreciate you coming in here and giving us the lowdown on the cadCAD proposal. Again,
thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Oh, our pleasure. And it's a great way to kick off the project spotlight again. And thank you all for coming and staying for the community call. Another great one. And I'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.